All right, we're live. I don't like my phone there. All right. I did not set up my phone today, so I got it in my hand. What's going on, good people? You know what's interesting? When you're on social media so much, it's like you're always trying to. I'm like, did I wear this shirt? Did I not wear this shirt? What clothes do I wear? Like, you always. I feel. Marie, didn't you say that they had, like, the people had the models? Your hat is going to get tired. Yeah, I agree with you, right? My hand is going to get tired. I agree, Marie. I think I should set up my device because we're going to be on for like an hour. And I agree. I think I'm going to get tired. Oh, you haven't seen this shirt? Okay, good. All right. You're right. I'm going to set up my little thing here so that my hand doesn't get tired. So what you guys want to talk about today? I see my man Daniel jumped on. I see my girl, one truck jumped on. What do y'all want to talk about? Tell me something interesting. What's up, Midas Group? Anybody saw my SBA training yesterday? All right, here, let's do this. We'll get this set up, and then that way I don't have to hold this thing here, and we're good. Okay. Tell me about tabulation report. What do you want to know about tabulation report? All right. Okay, that works. That's good enough. So tell me, what do you want to know about tabulation report, whatever that is? Like bid tabulations? Is that what you're asking? You know, it's interesting. I was, so I guess I'll start the conversation off since no one has any questions. The funny thing, I actually, bids. What about bids? Tell me specifically what you guys want to know about bids. Bum, bum, bum. So I was listening. There's a couple podcasts that I listen to, and I listened to the one by Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street guy, and he's really actually pretty good podcast. I mean, it might be a little bit too much for people, but and again, I see bids and I see how, but I'm not putting it together completely. So you guys can help me put it together. I'll be more than happy to answer whatever question you have. But I was listening to the guy from the Wolf of Wall Street, and it was interesting on his podcast. He was talking to someone, and I forget the gentleman's name. And that gentleman was saying that he said, hey, if you had to start over again, what would you do to, start making money again in business, right? And so what's the fastest way to start a new business and start making money? And one of the things that he said that resonated with me was there are a lot of rich people out there, right? Rich people, not just people, but rich people that have companies, rich business owners, a lot of companies with a lot of, they're already an existing business. They're already doing well. They have the financial means. And he said what he would do was go to them, right, and find out what were their problems and what was a problem that they needed to solve. And I thought that was, it's funny because a lot of times when we are out here creating businesses, we create businesses based on an idea of something that we want to do, not on really trying to solve a problem. And I really like that concept because it reminded me of when I talk about consulting. The idea behind consulting is not because I don't want you to have your own business, but the idea behind a consulting is I can take anyone out here who's watching this, who's listening to this, and because of you call yourself a consultant and because you learn the government contracting methodologies that we teach, you can literally go to a really large company that's already established, that's big, that's doing tens of millions of dollars in business, and agree to work with them and helping them in this arena. And funny thing is that it's just now that Maria is realizing that she's acquired that skill set. We actually have 2 meetings in the morning with companies that we're going to discuss working out, and they're really ecstatic to work with us. And so those two worlds kind of collided with me when he said that, because a lot of times folks are out here trying to create some novel product or idea or invention, which is cool, but there are already folks that have businesses that, again, if you could get in front of them and find out what are their needs and how can you help solve those needs, you can get paid extremely well. It almost reminds me of when I was reading this book about social media and advertising, and the guy from, what's his name? Where my boy at? Russell Brunson said that there's already millions of people online, right? So you just got to find out where the wave is at and stand in front of it. And that's the same way that I look at this when I talk to government contracts and I talk about consulting is there are already companies that want to get into this marketplace. There are already big companies, like really big, doing 50 million a year, 100 million a year, that want to get into this business, that want to get into this marketplace. Why not go find those companies, who they are and where they're at, and start talking to them about how you can help them get into this business? So that's kind of what I want to start off with. There was something that a long time ago, and by the way, I've been studying wealth a long time. So this is not just like I happened to wake up one day and start studying wealth. But I got this like a super long time ago, and it's called Networking with Millionaires. And I thought, I probably had this thing for 15 years at least. I don't even know how old it is. Put it this way, it's CDs, so you know it's old. But it's interesting that I still remember the context of what was in here, and it's still to me holds truth to this day is we are not in the rooms with the right people. You are not talking to the right people. You are not spending time with the right folks. Why is this important? Because these people hold the key to your success. They hold the key to your future. They hold the key to you doing really well. And so if the more time that you spend around people, businesses, companies that already are doing tens of millions of dollars, the easier it becomes for you to be able to help them in some way and be able to carve out a small slither of the pie for yourself that may be hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. So we'll talk about that later. I can see a couple questions on here. All right, my man, CEO of Midas Group says, how rare is it to win a bid over a low bid than your own? How rare is it to win a bid over a low bid than your own? I tried consulting with a company and they went behind me and seek out the bid for themselves. When I got to tabulation report, I saw my business name and their business name only, and they lowballed the amount that I gave them. Too much information. No. Midas Group, listen. It sounds like to me that okay, I'm going to tell you my perspective on that. What you were bidding and what you're looking at shows me that there was a low barrier to entry, and you probably should have been working on that anyways. You should have probably been working on something that was much more complex and had a higher level of entry, because if you had the ability to bid it yourself, then it wasn't that big of a project or job anyways. So I would not have encouraged you to do that. One of the things I talk about is work. Again, you want to work, and I know it's hard. Trust me, I know it's hard to work with people that, and you will hear this from anyone out here who preaches business will tell you, right? You got to be able to be around people that you can't afford to be around, go places that you can't afford to go. So again, the people that I work with, there's no way I could bid those size contracts on my own. You should not be able to bid the same size contract of the company that you represent. That's kind of like my advice. You should not be able to compete with them, right? They're not big enough. If you can do it, then you got to find a bigger person. And then the other thing is that, you sounds like to me, and I don't know the whole story, that you're probably working with someone that you knew or were familiar with, right? And so that person, which you weren't really consulting for them. All you did was send them a bid. That's not consulting. Okay, and I want to be clear. I tell other people that just sending someone bids is not consulting. Anyone could go in here and go on FBO. I say FBO because FBO rolls off my tongue. But anyone can go to beta.sam or BidSync and send someone a bid. That's not considered consulting. What we teach is business development. So you have to find opportunities where the people are calling you, not them. So if you went on and you bid an open market job, what value did you add to the table? You didn't really add a lot of value. And again, I'm not knocking what you did. I'm just saying that if you were, say, an intern of mine, and we were talking about it, what you want to do is, okay, first of all, by the way, let me tell you this: be thankful they did that, because they showed you who they were as a person. So that was really good. I would be appreciative of what they did. Look, we have had people take advantage of us, but again, the people who do that are like really small. I mean, it's been some minor people, and I would not allow that to discourage me. I can tell you stories when I did real estate, and folks, look, I helped a lady. I show them houses on the weekends. We spent all weekend together. They told me they want 3-bedroom house in this neighborhood. You show them all the houses in the neighborhood, and then a month later, you haven't heard from them. Like, hey, what's going on? And like, oh, we bought a townhouse or we bought a condo on Brickell. And you're like, wait, you bought a condo? You told me you only want to see 3-bedroom houses in this particular neighborhood, and that's what I brought you. And you went and bought a condo? So, like, that one person, don't worry about them. Ask Maria. She called some people. We do this. By the way, I just want to remember, we are doing this ourselves. So we're not telling you to do something we don't do. Maria, we have an opportunity here. I've already put it up. But I mean, I could look on my desk. I have here teaming agreements. I've got freaking team agreements, subcontractor agreements. I've got partnership agreements. I've got non-disclosures for people that we're looking to partner with all day. So there are people out here that really, when Maria reached out to these folks, they go, look, we're really good at our business. We don't have time to go after opportunities. We don't have time to do paperwork. They understand the value of what we're bringing to the table. And like, look, as long as it's a win-win-win for all of us, we're happy to do it. But they've got to do their part, right? And we bring our expertise to the table. They bring their expertise to the table. So, I would not. But again, the types of opportunities that we're going to go after are things that we could not go after on our own, because it doesn't make sense for me to partner with someone to do something I could do on my own. Is that fair? If I'm going to partner with somebody, I want to go after some big stuff that I can't do, on my own. But I could literally put the whole deal together, put the package together. And listen, guys, I know we talk about government contracting, but this is everywhere. Venture capitalists do this. Hedge fund guys do this. Real estate investment trusts do this. All of the capital markets do this. They are deal makers. And all I'm doing is teaching you another strategy of how to become a deal maker in a different marketplace. So, don't even be like, oh, well, I'm not teaching you something that's so revolutionary. I'm just telling you that I have figured out how to do it in the government space. And I know that because the kind of people that I'm telling you to target, which are like this thing talks about networking with millionaires. So what it says is, if you want to find a room full of millionaires, you can go to any organization. If you sell food products, if you sell paper products or plastic products, they have an organization, or for people who sell paper and plastic products, they have their own industry trade shows. They have their own industry magazines. If you look in those industry magazines, you will find business owners that are the award winners for their respective industry. It doesn't matter what industry you pick, steel buildings, staffing, medical, you're going to find an industry magazine that has industry people that are like, okay, these were the top guys in this state. These were the top people in this respective state. Those people are experts in their industry. That does not make them experts in government contracting. 2 phone calls right before I got on here was about exactly this. Like someone said, Eric, hey, we have people in Mexico, right? And they do wheat, plastics. They build, what do you call it? The pallets. And she's like, look, they're the largest company in Mexico that does this, but they don't know how to do government contracts. Can you help them? Okay. I don't know about that. Someone messaged me this week. Eric, we have a guy that does tugboats. They're a $1 billion company that does tugboats. Can you help them get contracts? $1 billion company, the largest people in Mexico. So it doesn't matter the respective space or industry that you go after. These people are so focused on doing their businesses, growing their businesses, that they don't have. In fact, I got someone that just called me about COVID-19 test kits that are 98% accurate, that they are already approved by the FDA, but they don't have someone that's actively going after the government angle of contracts. So it's look, there's so much people that really do want and need these services, and unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, they don't know how to go on YouTube and search to find me. So they'll never know that you guys learn this stuff from me, and that's fine, and I'm okay with that. And that's kind of like my hopes is like, hey, you guys go out and learn this information, take it back and add value to someone else's life and to someone else's business, and you make the money. I don't see anything wrong with that. Ask Maria. She says, and she says sometimes she doesn't feel like she's knowledgeable because she's just repeating my words. I think that's great. Just repeat my words, use my context. I tell you how to do the research. I tell you what to look for. Just do those things. So let me answer some questions here. Quick. What's up, Tab? What's up, people? Are there any perks going after companies that have won recent awards? No, yeah. Listen, if they've won a good example, in our group, we have a guy, Miguel. He found a company that was an IT company that they had won recent awards. But what he looked at was the gap between where they're at, right? They had won awards, and what the opportunities were was like this. So his pitch was, hey, I see that you've won some contracts. However, the market is this big. And compared relative to the market size and your ability, you're underperforming for your company. That's the pitch. So again, we have people on here that we're going to meet tomorrow. Like, we're going to meet people tomorrow that have won contracts with the government. But in terms of the amount of contracts relative to their ability and their size, it's minuscule. I mean, it's nothing. So the fact that they've won contracts says, hey, great, that's good that you can perform, but at the same time, why are they not maximizing their potential? So again, that's what my conversation would be. And again, we are going tomorrow morning. I got to meet Maria at 8:30. We're going tomorrow morning, and we're meeting with 2 business owners, and we're going to sit down with them and talk about how we can team together and go after some contracts at NASA. And I literally, Maria sent me an opportunity. I'm like, cool, let's go find some people. Matter of fact, look on my IG, and you'll see in my IG 2 days ago, we said we're looking for 8A partners. I posted the opportunity on IG. None of y'all hit me up, but it's okay. We went and we're not reactive. I'm just doing this to show people kind of like what the mindset and how we think and how we're operating. We proactively, and Maria did, and she can tell you, went online, found some companies. She went down the list. She emailed, I don't know how many, 10 companies, 15 companies. People hit her back and like, yep, we're interested. Yep. She had a couple conversations, and people said, hey, well, one person had a negative feeling about the government. So we got to go in and meet her husband, tell him why the government's not so bad, and it's really not the government's fault why he doesn't have contracts. And then another guy was like, yeah, I love it. I'm just really busy. I can't do it myself, but if you guys want to help do this and use my company, use my name and our past performance, and I pre-qualified, Maria pre-qualified these people. Hey, you have to meet these certain criteria. You have to have done X amount of dollars on projects, contracts, blah, 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 blah. He goes, yep, I do all of that. I'm good. Okay. And so now we're going to go meet with him in the morning and talk about it. But we brought him an opportunity first. So what's up, Brian from California? So for me, it's a matter of, and again, look, I get it. We're all afraid. Like, don't think that, I don't get afraid, or I don't have fears, or Maria's not afraid, or she doesn't have fears. We just, but really believe in what we're doing, and we know that it works. So when we're coming to people, we're coming in with all sincerity and like, look, this thing works. And we have done it for folks. We continue to do it for people. And so we're like really happy to be able to work with them and show them the way. I'm going to take them actual contracts of mine and say, hey, look, I'm telling you, look, this stuff works. But going back to that question of what's your first conversation be like, we've had students of mine that have said, hey, look, I'm not the expert. I don't know everything about government contracts, but I'm learning. My mentor, he's successfully done X, Y, Z worth of contracts. He's going to be by my side. He's going to help me. He's going to support me. And I have actually, I've done this for people. They had a client that they want to talk to me personally to make sure I was giving that person a reference to help work with them as a consultant. And I've done that for students. I got on the phone with the CEO of this big company out of Hawaii, and he said, hey, Eric, I understand that you're the guy that knows about contracts. Yep, I'm the guy. And we talked about my past. They literally parlayed a consulting gig based off of my history. They said, I'm a student. I don't know about contracts, but this guy does, and I'm studying underneath him. And then he goes, well, can I talk to the guy? Yeah, sure. I called him up. We talked. And I said, look, I'm going to be behind them 100%. I'm going to, they're going to report to me if there's any issues or any questions, blah, 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 blah. I told him about the risk and, all that kind of stuff. And he says, all right, we're going to go forward. And they did. For aspiring new government consultants, what type of contracts should I go after to get some W's under my belt? Again, it's not about the contracts that you should go after. Really, what you should focus on is getting a client, and the client is the contract, whatever client that you can get, a big size client, you're going to go at the contracts that they want or that they can do. So I would not, for me, I wouldn't focus on the contracts first. I would focus on the clients first. Hold on. How can I get training from you? I'm registered in SAM. So, I mean, you're getting training from me right now. Again, we do live sessions. We do these Wednesday sessions. We have a course that we sell. So Dream, new FG, Maria's on here. She's our resource specialist. We've got a new intern starting soon. He'll be able to help you out. So we have a lot of resources. GovConGiants.com is our website. We have a web page with blogs, articles. We put out a lot of content. So again, as far as I'm concerned, you're already being trained by me because I'm giving you I'm giving you the game. I'm telling you what we're doing. I'm sharing with the information. I'm telling you the books I read, the podcasts I listen to. I'm showing people my deals. If you go to my YouTube videos, I've got 300 videos on there. I got videos where I show you how I built my credit. I show my credit on the screen. I show my applications on the screen. I show my suppliers on the screen. I show you my capability statements on the screen. I show everything. I don't even know what else you want. How much more can I give you guys? If you're in my group, people in my group, and there's some people on here that are in my group, I show my contracts. They see my contracts. I don't show it here because obviously it's public. But if you're inside the GovCon Giants group, they've seen my contracts. I show them negotiations I'm having with contracting officers when I'm having problems with contracting officers. I had a lady, and I'll bring this up so you guys don't think I'm like some superhuman. I had a lady that was beating me up on a $40,000 contract. And I told the lady, I was like, look, man, you're killing me on this $40,000 contract. I'm embarrassed. The company that I'm representing, we do $28 million a year in business, and you out here got me a $40,000 contract. Oh, I know, Eric, I know, but I'm just giving you exactly, what we have at the time, because they don't always have the opportunities that you want at the time. So I'm like, look, but again, $40,000, that won't even cover our payroll for 1 week, right? So hear me out. So we're talking, and then I told the lady I just said, listen, do me a favor. I said that anytime you have coming up that's going to be a big contract, please just keep me in mind, because I can't go back to these guys with another $40,000 contract. They're gonna fire me from the company, right? Again, she doesn't know I'm a consultant. They think I work for the company because that's what we teach. I'm like, look, these people gonna fire me if I come back to them with another $40,000 contract. So we're negotiating, and it's funny because in the group it's real, we're all family inside the group. So we're laughing, Eric, maybe the lady likes you, maybe she kind of she's giving a hard time because she thinks you're cute or whatever. Maybe she doesn't have a boyfriend. That's how we talk. And the funny thing is, right, So come like 2 months later, the lady sends me a message and she goes, Eric, I have a project 1 to 5 million for you. You think that's big enough? And so like we talk about this kind of stuff, and people in the group saw me go through that experience, right? Where I always tell people, be patient, because you don't know how what's going to come around in the corner, right? And how the people are testing you. You don't know how and what maybe the person is just using that to see. Again, maybe if you dismiss the $40,000 contract, they're like, oh, this guy is not serious. He's not worthy of getting $1 million contract, right? Because he won't even take my little contracts. That, again, I need both of them done. I need the $1 million done, and I need the $40,000 done. So if you're only going to say you're only good enough for the $1 million contracts, then I don't want to talk to you. And so I don't know if that was a test, but she literally gave me a hard time, was beat me up, and I was like crying, complaining, like this lady don't like me, she prejudiced, and all this kind of stuff, and turned around and we negotiated a $5 million contract. And today we are doing a $5 million contract right here, like with the same person who started off with a $40,000 deal. So, that's like, that's kind of a story that I want to share out here with folks. But yeah, we're already like, for me, it's just the reality of, I'm already coaching, training, teaching, and putting content out there. So, all right, what else we got? I like Midas Group though. Listen, Midas Group, I like, for real. I do, one thing I do like, and I hope he's still on here. I do like that you tried and that you made an attempt, and I like that, right? Because that's what it takes, and then you're gonna start figuring out real soon, like how there are other people out here that are going to value and respect your time more so than folks like this particular clown. So again, Maria, we had the same kind of experience with her, and someone took advantage of her. But guess what? Today, she has several clients that happily pay her fees. And now Maria has even been picky about the clients she worked with. Look, Taps, I did my hair for yesterday's call. That's funny. Oh, I'm sorry, Tab. And we didn't even go on. Let me go live. Man, what we got going on? I'm sorry, Tab.